In today's class, let us learn about national income and concepts of national income. National income is a measure of the total money value of goods and services produced by an economy over a period of time, normally a year. It is the net result of all economic activities of any country during a period of 1 year and is valued in terms of money. National income is an uncertain term and is often used interchangeably with national dividend, national output, and national expenditure. We can understand this concept by understanding the national income definition. The national income is the total amount of income accruing to a country from economic activities in a year's time. It includes payments made to all resources either in the form of wages, interest, rent, and profits. National income data provides a summary statement of a country's aggregate economic activities. It not only helps to measure the size and health of an economy, but also to understand how it functions. The measurement of national income accounts for different concepts that have a significant role while determining its value. The important concepts of national income have been explained now. Concepts of national income. There are various concepts of national income. The main concepts of national income are gross national product, gross domestic product, net national product, net domestic product, per capita income, personal income, and disposable income. Gross national product. Gross national product is the total value of goods and services produced and income received in a year by domestic residents of a country. It includes profits earned from capital invested abroad. That is, the citizens of the country, if they have invested anything outside their country, that is also taken into consideration. The formula for gross national profit is GNP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. That is the difference between the value of exports and imports plus net factor income earned abroad. That is, this part is the formula to calculate GDP, which we learned in the previous class. So GDP plus net factor income earned from abroad as the formula to calculate gross national product. Here, as we know already, C is for consumption and this I for investment and this G denotes the expenditure of the government. X is the value of exports and M is the value of imports. Gross national product is the value of all goods and services made by a country's residents and businesses regardless of production location. GNP counts the investments made by its residents and businesses both inside and outside the country. Here we should understand the difference between GNP and GDP. GDP is concerned only about the investments or businesses, anything made within the geographical territory of a country. Whereas GNP takes into consideration the investments made by its residents and businesses both inside and outside the country. And it computes the value of all products manufactured by domestic companies regardless of where they are made. So the location is not a problem at all here. GNP does not count any income earned in the country by foreign residents or businesses. So if a person of other country lives in India and earns that amount or that income is not taken into consideration. So it is bothered about its citizen and it is not bothered about the location. It excludes products manufactured in the country by overseas firms. Net factor income from abroad. What is this net factor income from abroad? It refers to the difference between factor income received from the rest of the world and factor income paid to the rest of the world. That is the income, factor income received from outside India and factor income paid by India to the other parts of the world. Factor income from abroad is the income earned by the normal residents of a country from the rest of the world in form of wages and salaries, rent, interest, dividend, and retained earnings. Factor income to abroad is the factor income paid to the normal residents of other countries, that is non-residents, for their factor services within the economic territory. Now, gross domestic product, and in our previous class, we dealt in detail about this gross domestic product. Now, I will tell you in a nutshell form. Gross domestic product is the total value of output of goods and services produced by the factors of production within the geographical boundaries of the country. And what is this factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and enterprise or organization or entrepreneurship, anything we can call it as. And the reward for land is rent. The labor gets the reward in the form of wages, and capital's reward is interest, and the entrepreneur gets the reward in the form of profit. And the entrepreneur is called as the changing agent of the society because he bears the risk of connecting the other factors of production. So GDP is the value of final goods and services produced inside the boundary of a nation during 1 year. So gross domestic product, it considers by both foreigners as well as Indians. GDP focuses on where the output is produced, where, whether inside India or outside India, it is considered only about inside India. GNP focuses on output produced by whom, that is about by Indian nationals. Now let me explain this concept with a simple example. In India, an Indian contributes rupees 10,000 for GDP, and inside India there is a person, Mr. Alex. He contributes 1,000 rupees. He produces goods and services worth rupees 1,000. So what is that? And that happens inside the territory of India. So what is the GDP for that particular year? So this 10,000, let it be the amount contributed by all the Indians, and this 1,000 is contributed by a person from UK. Let us have, he is from UK, United Kingdom, and he contributes rupees 1,000. So now the GDP comes to rupees 11,000. Okay. Now, at the same time, in UK, there is an Indian, Mr. Ram. He produces goods and services worth £50, and let it be the value of, let us consider it as 4,000 rupees. Okay. Now, this 4,000 rupees will not, though it is contributed by an Indian, it is not taken into for GDP because it does not happen within the territories of India. Now, how to calculate GNP? GNP is equal to, GNP is concerned about the citizens, the total value of goods and services produced by the domestic residents of the country. So GNP is equal to 11,000 rupees, 11,000 GDP, and minus rupees 1,000 contributed by Mr. Alex, who's a citizen of UK. So it is not taken into consideration, 10,000, and plus we are adding rupees 4,000, which is contributed by an Indian but from United Kingdom. So GNP is 14,000. Now another formula we saw for GNP, right? GNP is equal to GDP plus net factor income earned from abroad. So the GDP is rupees 11,000 minus plus what is net factor income earned abroad? Amount contributed to other country. So what we have contributed to other country? 4,000 rupees, and Indian has contributed 4,000 to other country minus 1,000. That is, this 1,000 rupees is the amount contributed by Mr. Alex inside India. So 11,000, 4,000 minus 1,000, 3,000 is equal to 14,000. So GNP comes to 14,000. Hope now it is clear for you. Now, net national product. Net national product is arrived by making adjustment with regard to depreciation. Adjustment with regard to depreciation. Yes. That is, we arrive the net national product, which is also called as NNP, by deducting the value of depreciation from gross national product. So NNP is equal to GNP minus depreciation. It is the measure of net output available for consumption by the society. What is depreciation? It is the consumption of capital in the production process. That is the wearing out of plant and equipment. The monetary value of an asset decreases over time due to use, wear and tear, or obsolescence. This decrease is measured as depreciation. Depreciation, that is a decrease in assets value, may be caused by a number of other factors as well as such as unfavorable market conditions, etc. Machinery, equipment, land, tools are some examples of assets that are likely to depreciate over a specific period of time. Net domestic product. Net domestic product is a part of gross domestic product. Net domestic product is obtained from the gross domestic product by deducting the quantum of tear and wear expenses, that is depreciation. So NDP is equal to GDP minus depreciation. Now let us come to another important part, per capita income. Per capita income or output per person is an indicator to show the living standard of people in a country. And it is obtained by dividing the national income by the population of a country. It is a measure of the amount of money earned per person in a nation or geographic region. Per capita income can be used to determine the average per person income for an area and to evaluate the standard of living and quality of life of the population. Per capita income for a nation is calculated by dividing the country's national income by its population. So population plays a major role here. Per capita income counts each man, woman, and child, even newborn babies, as a member of population. The most common use of income per capita is to ascertain an area's wealth or lack of wealth. Per capita income is also useful in assessing an area's affordability. See, for example, businesses can also use per capita income when considered opening a store or a big mall in a town or region. If a town's population has a higher per capita income, the company might have a better chance at generating revenue from selling their goods, since the people would have more spending money versus a town with a low per capita income naturally. Personal income. Personal income is the total money income received by individuals and households of a country from all possible sources before direct taxes. So personal income is equal to national income plus net transfer payment. Disposable income. Disposable income means actual income which can be spent on consumption by individuals and families. Thus, it can be expressed as disposable income is equal to personal income minus direct taxes. From consumption approach, disposable income can be calculated by adding the consumption expenditures with savings. So it has two approaches. So the income, personal income minus fixed expenses is equal to disposable income. It is the income that someone has available to spend or save after taxes have been taken out and they have paid for food and other basic needs. Disposable income can also has economic significance, not only it is one of the major determinants of consumer spending, but it is also one of the 5 determinants of demand. It represents how many goods and services are bought at various prices during a certain period. In short, how much disposable income someone has can help to determine how much money they spend on goods and services. So from consumption approach, direct disposable income is equal to consumption expenditure plus savings.